We are going to continue our conversation this morning with Dr. Lokesh Shahani. This was a conversation we started at the beginning of the hour about trends, some dangerous, on social media and what we can do to protect ourselves and, of course, our loved ones. We had staggering statistics at the top of the show earlier this morning, talking about who is impacted and just how much they are impacted. These are very disturbing numbers when you break them down. Why is it children and teens are most vulnerable when it comes to these challenges?
So, children and teens are developing themselves. Their personality is developing. They're trying to kind of get themselves accustomed to the role in the society. And in a way, they get easily influenced. Social media challenges, social media peer pressure does play a big part in that, which kind of, tends to divert our kids to some of these challenges.
Some of these challenges incorporate over-the-counter medicines, Tylenol, ibuprofen, Benadryl. What is it that you're seeing with these medications when it comes to the challenges with younger folks?
So FDA actually has issued a warning about these challenges and sent a note to the doctors. The two most common ones that we're seeing right now is a Benadryl challenge and a popular name brand challenge where they mix it with chicken and cook it with chicken. What's happening is, our kids are obviously smaller than adults, so even a small dose of these over-the-counter medications causes a large physical harm on them. The few symptoms that we're seeing with these challenges are seizures, hallucinations, liver failure, breathing problems, and hence they're becoming really dangerous.
Are these intentional? Are these children doing these challenges not understanding fully the consequences that in some situations this could lead to death?
Exactly. I think it's again the harmful effects of social media influences as well as peer pressure that's kind of leading our kids to do what they're doing. At sometimes they are intentional, in sometimes people wanting to actually hurt themselves as a suicide attempt, but for most times it's just kind of falling into the trap of peer pressure.
At the top of the hour, we heard from Bill Spencer, KPRC2 investigator, and he brought us inside a handful of families' homes, and we spoke with a few moms, and we were able to go along on this journey of discovering some of these substances in everyday bottles, everyday products, some being bottles. You thought it was a water bottle, and really it was a way for these children or teenagers to hide illicit drugs, whatever it be. What is your suggestion? What are your tips to parents watching right now that want to protect their loved ones?
So obviously, locking everything is essential. If you feel that your child is someone who can be a prey to all of these challenges, making sure the over-the-counter medications are logged. Sometimes, guns definitely a dangerous item in the house, definitely having that in a gun safe. Also, our pesticides, our cleaners that we use on a daily basis, they definitely should be logged at a much higher cabinet. Again, I think parental monitoring is important, keeping a trend of what's happening on their kids' social media page, ensuring that they keep an eye on the text messages, making sure there's no suicidality that's at risk, needs to be monitored by parents.
My producer earlier this morning called this, I believe it was a battleground, right, Sam? You were referring to, social media does such a great job at keeping people connected, but it truly is becoming the battleground for challenges like this. And in order for you to really be ahead of the 8 ball in this situation, you need to be where your children are. And so if they are on social media and they are being influenced by whatever it is there, you also maybe ought to be there to be part of that and to be ahead of that.
No, just as we give our movies a parental supervision kind of a tag, I think social media also deserves a parental supervision tag to it.
Well, that's a really great way to look at it. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me again.
We do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anytime. If you or someone you know is struggling with substance abuse, you need to know there is help available. If you are in an emergency, you need to call 911. If you need someone to talk to or text, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline is available 24/7. That number is on your screen. That is 988. Again, you can call or text that number.